Oh, hi everybody. This is Mr. Duncan, not in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. I hope you are feeling happy today. We are continuing our journey around Italy. We are no longer in Rome. We had to say goodbye to Rome, unfortunately, but we are in another place, somewhere equally as scenic and beautiful as Rome. We are in a place called San Gimignano, which is a little further north of Rome, not very far away from Florence, which is another place we will be visiting. You may notice that to my left there is a man, a very famous man now. People across the internet seem to know this person very much. It is, of course, Mr. Steve. Steve, are you having a good time here in San Gimignano?
Yes, it's a beautiful, ancient town, and after what happened yesterday, we've come here to relax and to visit the local pharmacia. But Mr. Duncan will tell you more about that.
Well, now you've opened the door to the story, I suppose I should explain what Mr. Steve is referring to. Yesterday we went for a walk to a town very close to the hotel. Unfortunately, during the walk, I fell over. I tripped, I fell, and let's just say I caused a little bit of damage to my body. I will try to show you now what I did. I will give you an example of some of the injuries I sustained during my fall. Here we go. So here is the injury that I sustained to my hand. By the way, there is a warning coming up. The following scenes may be disturbing to people who don't like seeing parts of the body.
If you are squeamish, look away.
To be squeamish means to be easily sickened, or maybe if you are feeling repulsed by something, or maybe a thing that makes you feel unwell if you see it. Here we go then. Here is the injury to my hand. I will give the microphone to Mr. Steve. So that is what I did to my hand. Look at that. So I've injured my hand, and also I have injured my knee as well. Look, my poor knee is now all injured. Let's just say I was bleeding. I was bleeding awful.
But
which is what a lot of people say when they talk about Mr. Duncan. They often say that Mr. Duncan, he's bleeding awful.
But can I say this all happened in the cause of Mr. Duncan's English teaching channel, because he was enthusiastic to be filming some lovely scenery.
I was actually taking photographs at the time.
He was taking photographs at the time, and Mr. Duncan becomes very enthusiastic, and he wasn't looking where he was walking, and as a result tripped and fell from, I would say, about 2 meters high onto some gravel, and
well, let's not relive the whole thing, because to be honest, it was very painful. We managed to find a small restaurant that helped us, and they gave us a bottle of something called iodine or iodine. And all I can say is when Mr. Steve put the iodine onto my wounds, it hurt a lot. It was very, very painful. I personally, can I just let you in on a secret? I think Mr. Steve enjoyed causing pain to me yesterday. I think he was actually enjoying it when he put the iodine on my open wounds. It was very, very painful. But of course you have to be safe. So to sterilize my poor wounds, Mr. Steve put the iodine on, but it did help, I think. So all of my wounds are now healing very well. And as you can see, I have not been affected at all, because I am always the professional, even when I am in absolute agony. So we are spending the afternoon here in San Gimignano. We've just had some lovely food, haven't we, Steve?
We have a lovely lasagna, which is much better than the versions we get back in the UK. Proper pasta, and it was just delicious.
It was really, really nice. I didn't have any, but Mr. Steve did give some to me, and I can confirm that the lasagna was absolutely delicious. So we will spend a bit more time here in San Gimignano, and I think tomorrow we are going to Florence to have a look around, and maybe we will see some of the local art, some of the famous buildings. We will see what happens. So don't forget to come back very soon and see what we are doing in Florence.
By the way, do you like the way I carry my rucksack?
Let's just have a look. So this is what Mr. Steve does with his rucksack. Now the reason why Steve does this is so if anyone tries to rob him, if anyone tries to rob Mr. Steve, they can't. Although it does look like Mr. Steve is carrying a little baby in the front. Maybe one of those little papooses.
It was recommended to us when we went to the Il Colosseo that we keep the rucksack in front because of pickpockets. And I must say, it's very useful because I can just get out anything I want at any time without having to take it off. Here's my phone, Mr. Duncan.
Very good.
Handy.
It's all very useful.
This is my new way of carrying a rucksack from now on. Practical and safe.
So there you go, a safety tip. If you are coming to a busy place, especially like this, where there are lots of people around, wear your rucksack or your backpack the other way around, so then you can keep an eye on your things so they don't get stolen. As I just mentioned, we are off to Florence tomorrow. We will see what happens there, and I hope you will join us for another short video. We will let you carry on with your day, and I can reassure everyone that I am still alive after my little accident yesterday, but I am still 100% Mr. Duncan, and we all know what that means. Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Shall we go now?
Shall we say goodbye in the traditional Italiano way?
Well, I was going to use the traditional Mr. Duncan way.
Okay.
So I will say ta-ta for now, and Mr. Steve will say
Arrivederci for now.
see you soon for another short video. The next time we will be in Florence, and of course, as I just said, ta-ta for now.